Feeling cramped, low on time, and not sure how to fit creativity into your life? Same. I may not have the perfect answer, but in this video I'm gonna show you how I tackle those challenges. I'll walk you through my tiny art studio and show you how I make time for creative work. Despite a small space, a busy life, and limited hours. I probably have the smallest art studio you have ever seen. Seriously, it's only 2 by 2 meters, which is approximately 6.5 by 6.5 feet. It's tiny, but it is a dedicated space. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm lucky, you know? Some people don't have a dedicated space for art. Still, it did take some creative thinking to make it functional. And I'm constantly tweaking the layout and setup, and clutter builds up fast. Keeping it tidy is definitely an ongoing process. Yeah. Bye. I have 1 child, a partner, and a 32-hour job. And still I manage to regularly create new work. Now, I'm not the most organized person. I get overwhelmed easily, but deadlines help me focus. When I have a clear goal and a ticking clock, I'm way more likely to choose drawing over doom scrolling. And doom scrolling is a serious issue. Right, now I have 2 long-running projects that keep me creating. The first one is my Patreon postcard club. Each month, my patrons vote on a theme. It's always fantasy, because everything is fantasy with me. Whether it's fan art or fairy tale illustrations or original work. If you're in the arcane tier, you get the final piece mailed to you as a printed postcard. My second project is my stamp fan account. It's called Nix's Adventures. And this might be my favorite thing right now, but that's probably because it's new. Stamp Fans is a platform that sends physical letters to subscribers. Letters you design and upload yourself. So like I mentioned, my series is called Nix's Adventures. Every month, Nix, a lonely adventurer, writes a handwritten letter to a friend. That could be you. Each letter is its own mini-story, complete with small illustrations. It blends my love for storytelling, illustration and world building. And honestly, it's a great source of D&D inspiration too. Most of my art happens right after my kid goes to bed. That gives me about 2 to 3 hours in the evenings. On my day off, I work while he's at school, from 8:30 to 2:15. That gives me a solid 5-hour block with lunch included, you know. I try to plan deep focus tasks on those hours. Afternoons are more chaotic, so I tend to do light and low focused creative tasks, like crocheting, if the pattern isn't too complex. And now the studio tour. Fair warning, it's messy. No Pinterest perfect setup here, just real life. Let me show you my workspace. It's tiny. So this door almost opens. I haven't cleaned it. It's full. It's packed with everything I own, including package materials. Oh, that is actually a gift for my D&D party, so that will be removed in due time. There's prints. What's in this? More prints and some shrink foil project. This is a sticker tray for when I do conventions. There's test pieces of wool and test pieces of fabric and some business cards and crochet hooks. And this is the paper, how do you call that? Test pieces? No, it's not test pieces. Paper, oh come on. Samples, there we go. Paper samples of my favorite printing company. I love this book, such an inspiration. Anyway, well, yeah, that's my camera bag and my current crochet project, including the pin foam. Tell me, please, what is this called? how do you call this? This is all my drawing books and paper and some glitter notebook. Oh, there we have glue and medium and some office supplies and a hair dryer, which is absolutely more for acrylics than for my hair. Administration, my DM screen, and the top is completely filled with all the fabric I still have left. Yeah, it's hard to take something out and it's absolutely harder to put something back. As you can see, the brown fabric over there is probably the fabric that got used last. Because it wouldn't really go back on the shelf. Here are some art books I own, and yeah, there we go. And in those drawers, I don't know what's in there. Some won't even open. Maybe it's a waste of space. Could very well be. This is a very old daylight lamp, but it serves its purpose. Ooh, look at my frog. I love it. It's a Christmas ornament. And I saw it and I had to buy it because look at it. It's fabulous. Anyway, here we have, thank you. Another lamp. This is actually very functional when I make pictures of my products. My sewing machine is behind that. I have these, well, it's not embroidery, beadwork, I guess. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with the results. It's just sitting there, but someday I will find a purpose for you. And we have, well, the other beads and embroidery thread and yeah, a lot of shinies. I can take them out. Oh, and sequins in the box up there that I used for the jester outfit. Sewing supplies, and in this is an amazing invention. It is actually meant for formula for babies, so you can dose it off properly and then take it with you on the go. But ever since my baby boy is no longer a baby boy, this is used for all kinds of purposes. And now for sequins. Oh, come on, focus on the sequins. Yeah. These got mixed up a bit, I believe. They're different colors and sizes. And I didn't want to put them back in the corresponding, yeah, there you go, plastic bags that are in the box, so they're in there. What else can I show you? I have some leftover paper and some wooden planks that are too tiny to actually use properly in the kitchen, so I wanted to carve them out with wood tools I got for Christmas. But I made a sketch and I never did it, so I'm just saving those there for a later time. Posca markers. I have a hate-love relationship with Posca markers because I was making a chair that is beneath these huge stack of fabrics and overalls and work shirts. Well, okay, hold on. I have to show you because that is a proper way to explain to you why I don't like Posca markers. Yeah, this is the last fabric I used because I haven't put it back on the shelf at all because it's such a bother. All right, there we go. The daycare my son went to at that time had these chairs left over. They're just IKEA chairs, but they're pretty beat up by the kids, and they had to get new ones. So they were like, oh, maybe some of the parents could use some of these chairs. And I was very ambitious and thought, yeah, of course, that's amazing. I'm gonna paint them.
that's such a good project. Everyone is going to want one. Of course, let's make them fairy tale themed, like everything I do. So this is the Princess and the Frog. Look, there's the golden ball. It's gold paint, but maybe if I turn it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Look, shiny. That's nice. Yeah, this took a long time. I think this chair has been untouched for 2 years. I am not sure if I am ever going to finish it. And if I finish it, then is someone ever going to sit on it? Because it will get scratched. It will have to be very, very well varnished in order to stay pretty. This was a terrible project in hindsight. This chair underneath the blender that I used to make paper. Okay, wait, let me correct that. This is the blender that I used once to make paper and has been sitting there for, well, probably a year or two, untouched. The chair underneath, that is actually a chair that gets used when my son has a friend over. Not the pretty chair, because that will get scratched and is not protected. Hi, editing me. Like the whirlwind that I am, I never actually explained why I hate Posca markers. So I'm gonna tell you now. The Posca markers tend to scrape off themselves. The tips are quite hard, and on this very fragile little chair, which is, like I mentioned, an IKEA chair that has a layer over it. I did try to sand it off, but you know, it just won't take. You can see it over here, but the paint wouldn't take either, which is why this is such a bad project. The blue is very spotty and I wanted it to be all crisp. It didn't work out like I wanted to, and the Posca markers kept scraping themselves off. You can see right over here, it won't take properly. So that is why. My apologies for being such a chaos. Yeah, I have a shitload of wool. I already had a shitload of wool because look, this is completely filled up all the way to the back. You can't really see. I'm not gonna take it out because I will never put it back and then I won't be able to walk in my room, which is hard at this time already. So that's one. And then we have here, it's more wool. Look. And this is, I believe this is cotton wool. All the same size. Can you focus? Is it focused? No, it's not. It's totally not focused. And this is a blend of everything. I used that pretty blue wool for my wedding dress, which was nice. And the rest, I don't know. I don't know where I got it, actually. I think I got it from my father's girlfriend, but I'm not sure. And yeah, it was sitting there and, oh, come on, focus on the wool. And I wanted to I wanted to use it so I would free up some space. Yeah, and then my mom taught me how to crochet, which was nice. But the problem was that this bag, this one was standing at my mother's house. And one day I was cleaning up my mother's house, or helping her to clean up her house. And we found this because I bought this so she could make me a skildehammerkap with this wool. And she was going to knit it, I believe. Or she did crochet it, I'm not sure. But that was a failed project, unfortunately, because it stretches too much. So it was huge. So we found this, and since she has a very tiny house, and this was my wool, I took it home. So then I had more wool. And I thought, well, that may be not such a problem, because I can just use it and make something myself. And then I started crocheting. And then I started liking crocheting. And when I like something, I need more materials. So that's where the other bags come in. Yeah. No, well, in my defense, yes, I have bought, I think, the top clusters. I don't know, how do you call the bolletjes in Dutch? The bolletjes. The top ones I bought myself. And then this whole bag was also donated by my mom because she didn't use it, and I maybe, of course, would totally use it, like all the other things I make. Of course I'm gonna use it, of course. It's gonna take me 20 years. Once I start, I will buy something new, which I will have to save for another 20 years. But hey, what you gonna do? Anyway, this is a very handy thing. We call it a bobby. I'm not sure if that's the official name, but it is quite vintage since it was handed to me by my grandma, who used it at some point. Yeah, this is completely filled with all kinds of things. I am not actually sure what's inside every single one of these drawers, except for these top parts. We have, okay, wait, let me see if I remember this. On the top is bookmarks, maybe? Bookmarks and postcards? Let me see if that's correct. Yes. There we go. My stash of bookmarks and postcards. Yeah. Second one is stickers. Ta-da. Stickers. And in the latter is, I think, packing material. So that's plastic foils and some labels, I think. Let's see. Yay! And envelopes. Very boring envelopes. Cellophane bags. That's the proper term for that. Okay. Underneath the boxes, there's nothing. Never mind. There's nothing underneath the boxes. But here we have some of the art prints with the foil. Yeah. There is Eowyn. Oh, can you see? Focus. Yeah, thank you. Eowyn. And the spring fairy illustration. So that's in that one. Here we have only this one. I don't think it fits inside the drawer. This one. Nah, it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. There's not enough room. Unfortunately. Oh well. Then we have these boxes, and that holds all of my art prints. I only have one free hand left, so I'm not gonna take them out because they're quite heavy actually. Let me turn this and hope for the best that that things don't fall down. All right, we have clips for conventions. We have, okay, this was a French press. Well, it's still a French press, but you can never use it again as a French press because there's beeswax in it. And I colored it blue, that's why it's blue. And beeswax doesn't really come out. At least I have not found a way to take it out properly and clean the whole pot, so it's just gonna be stained blue, I guess. And this is gold colored paint for candles. Thank you, label, although you are in Dutch. Hello. Can you, yes, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool to use. I am, wait, let me show you. I think I still have a few left. And it's in this somewhere. Must be somewhere on these shelves. Can you, if you see it before I do, can you shout out, please? Because I don't know. I don't know. Where are my candles? I had some left, I'm quite sure of it. Maybe on the top shelf? Do you see it? Why aren't you saying anything?
2,000 years later.
As he should. Yeah, there they are. There you go. There you go. Okay, I made candles for Christmas. Where are you? There are you. I made candles for Christmas. I dipped them myself. It was very fun. It was therapeutic. I don't recommend doing this in summer because it's hot as hell. Look, this one was an experiment with just... Can you please focus on the candle and not on the map? On the map? I'm sorry. This is called a mop in Dutch. So I get confused sometimes. Okay, so candle. Yeah, dual colored. And this is the gold paint that I used, which was amazing to work with. Sticks to the wax quite easily. Anyway, I made a whole bunch of it, and that was my Christmas present for my family and friends. I like making my own Christmas presents. That's so much nicer than buying something, in my opinion. Anywho, there we are. This is a table runner for conventions, price tags for conventions, and these plate racks for art prints, also for conventions. And then I'll get to this in a second. And then I have package material, so the cardboard envelopes and some of this, how do we call it? I mean, in Dutch, overtrekpapier? Tracing paper? There you go. And plastic foil I haven't used yet. That is for bigger art prints that don't go inside one of those cellophane bags. This is sketch paper, quite big sketch paper. And this is, I think, supposed to be watercolor paper, but it doesn't take watercolor that well, but just thicker, fancier paper. So this is my good paper, and this is my rubbish paper for sketches. But it's very nice. It was handed to me by my uncle, but he wasn't using it anymore, so I could have it. So that's nice. All right, we have some drawers with things and rags and some air drying clay and other painting supplies, stamps. This I got as a bonus for when I ordered some painting materials. It's gold paint. I haven't used it yet. Seems fun though. A glitter pen. Yeah. This is a very handy blanket. It was a baby blanket, and now I use it to do voiceovers and make sure that the road outside isn't recorded. They don't need the airtime. Okay, ink, paint, work gloves for the woodwork materials I have, brushes, gold paint. And then we have charcoal fixative and gouache paint and markers and some crochet color my mom made and more pencils and brushes and things. There's so much in here. It's ridiculous. And in that bin are all the other colors that either I made or my mom crocheted, or my mom crocheted and I embroidered, because we have a few of those collaborative colors. So yeah, and here are some of the artwork I purchased from people I really admire. Not this. This I made myself. It can go away. All right. Anyway, let's turn around. Oh, light. Thank you. This is a lamp. Well, it's part of a lamp because it broke. It's an IKEA lamp. There's supposed to be these big glass domes on top, and one of them broke once, and then we had to replace it, and then this also broke. So, but I kept it because I thought that it may be fun. And tell me if you think that is a good idea or a terrible idea to purchase some epoxy sculpt and try to fix this and then put branches all over them or something. I don't know, maybe just fantasy them up a bit. And then I can put colored lights in them. And maybe that could be cool.
Yeah, it's me again. Totally cool idea. Still support the epoxy plan. Unfortunately, I forgot that my husband cut the cord off to put on a different lamp that didn't have a switch, which was a fun project for him to do. So the lamp is useless. It's completely useless. It's still standing there in the corner being all sad. It just has to go. Unless you have a better idea, but I think it's just trash now.
Is amazing. This is my loot. I have a lute. I love playing my lute. But I'm not very good at playing my lute. Maybe I'll show you sometime. Maybe I take it out a bit later. My hat. Do I have to make another one of this? Maybe an autumn themed one? That could be cool. This is my convention sign. There you go. And I have roller skates. Have I used my roller skates? Don't be ridiculous. Of course not. Yeah, I used them once and 3 times indoors. Like in my house. I suck at roller skating. Well, I haven't practiced it enough, so that's why I suck at roller skating. I still have the intention, but I feel like a fool when I try it outside. And also I have to walk quite a bit before I get to a place where the sidewalk is actually fit for roller skating. Otherwise it's just these tiles, and that's meant for disaster, you know. All right, this is a tent, my son's tent. It's stored here. I'm not sure why. This is not the best place. This is a ladder because I cannot stand on the chair or my husband will get angry. So this is the ladder I totally used to reach for the candles that were there. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. This is my hood I made. I love it. And yeah. Some linoleum cuts I made. Prints. I have this nice decor-y thingy. And I store some of my paint on the wall because I have been doing that since Art Academy. This is just the way I store paint, even though I never use this paint and more often use the paints that are in my cupboard. Yeah, well, I think that's most of it. Anything I haven't explained? What's behind this? These are some maps I use to store. Oh, there's my serger. I don't use the serger. If you have seen my jester costume outfit, you know I don't like using my sewing machine, so me not wanting to use my serger is no surprise, I think. Yeah. Underneath here, I store my linoleum, some of my failed art prints, and the paper making sieve. Sticks out just a little bit. And those black tracing paper you can draw on top and then it stamps on the back, you know? That's nice for when you do linoleum. There is more beeswax that hasn't been melted yet, and my scrap fabric bag. I really need to clean up. This is getting ridiculous. It's more like a storage room at this point. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on my tour. This is apparently how you can do art, sort of, if you clean up a bit. In the middle of the city, in the Netherlands. Our houses are tiny. I don't know what they were thinking making this room. It's 2 meters by 2 meters. Yeah, it's fine. We make do. Bye. If you couldn't guess, I'm sitting underneath my desk. Can I zoom out a little so you can see? There, no. Ta-da! Come back to me. Hello. Am I always productive every minute I have to spare? No, of course not. I'm not a freak. And that's a recipe for burnout, my friend. Whenever I'm not motivated to make anything, I just watch a movie or read a book. But what I am actively trying to avoid is doom scrolling. And that's hard. But if I feel like I need a break, I take it. There's no need to be hard on yourself. And besides, you're not making any good work if you're trying to force it. Well, not for me at least. And I think it's always important to focus on the things you have accomplished instead of the things you wish you had accomplished. You're not helping anyone with that train of thought, especially you.
So if you're trying to make space mentally and physically to do creative work, you're not alone. You don't need a huge art studio or endless free time, but you do need projects you care about and to give yourself the permission to create within your limits. If you enjoyed this peek behind the scenes, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more art-related content. If you want to receive some of that creative work I make in your own mailbox, you can check out my Patreon or subscribe to Nix's Adventures. Thank you for watching.